Hello humans, ghouls, and mutated fools, my name is Mara and you're on the channel Beware Mutated Zombies. I'm still testing out the audio. I have it as high as possible right now, so hopefully you guys can hear me, because having it not as high as possible, you can barely hear me. I heard it's a problem that a lot of people have with Streamlabs OBS, so we'll see. But if this is too loud for you, I apologize. And also, uh, there's nothing else I can do. I have what I have and I'm working with it. But other than the weird audio, we are continuing on with Rumple. I think there are 8 or 9 chapters, and we're on chapter 7. So we're almost done with Rumple's story. I'm very excited to see what a bad ending with him could be. If I get the good ending, I'm going to be extremely surprised. But I'm going to take it, because I want everyone to be happy. No one should have to suffer. And also I want to know what the lore is for the next Cinderella Phenomenon game Evermore is, and apparently you need to do all of these in order to get that. So, let's go ahead and continue on with Rumple's story. He's a doctor, he was engaged, and he's flirtatious. Alright. And you, my little sunflower, are just as radiant as all... Who's a sunflower? Oh my, Rumple. It's like that whole thing with Bria never happened. He is back to flattering every woman he meets. Overthinking again, princess? I turn to see Karma grinning at me from where he sits at a table. Surprisingly, he is sitting with Jurian and Garland today, who are arguing about some kind of night stance. I love Karma. Oh, Karma's so just... It's none of your business. No, it's not, but you have such a sad look on your face, I had to ask. I'd appreciate you not staring at my face. I don't need to stare at you. I don't need to stare to see that you are in distress. I turn on my heels and begin to walk away, irritated. Even when I am among other people, it is impossible to forget the conversation I had with Parfait and Delora. It hovers at the back of my mind constantly. Oh yeah, last episode, she figured out who she was, and she's still dealing with it. It's interesting. In this storyline, she doesn't attempt to get kidnapped, or people don't attempt to kidnap her, and she finds out that she's a witch in a much better way. How are we gonna find the king? Like, what's the end thing? She's not gonna be kidnapped. Is your dad gonna get kidnapped? We'll find out. We have not spoken again since then, yet even now, I am still taking in what they told me before. My mother, the Tenebrarum bearer, and me, a witch. The reason others have always feared me is because of my blood. I suppress a sigh as I attempt to return to my work. As the days go by, I notice myself becoming more and more agitated. Half of it is the recent history lesson, and the other half is Rumple's flirting with other women. Oh ho ho ho, jealous are we? How can he just snap his fingers and go and get over Bria so quickly? If he flatters every woman, does that mean he does not really mean the things he says to me? I gather the plates off the counter, put them on a tray, and take them to customers. Today, everything feels mechanical. For the last few days, I have been noticing that I walk more stiffly, and that if I walk too quickly, my vision blurs. Oh. Probably because of my overthinking. Probably. I stumble as I bring a tray to a familiar customer. The man looks up at me and asks if I am okay, and I murmur that I am before walking off. The blurriness comes back. What is wrong with me? Have you been eating? I look over at Rumple, who is at a table with 2 girls because his shift is over. Rather than boil over on the inside, I feel myself getting warmer on the outside. My skin feels clammy. I have to force myself to take a breath as I get the next round of orders. My last order for the day is for one of the girls at Rumple's table. I don't want to go over there. I start carrying the tray toward the table, biting down on my lip as the sway comes back into my step. As I draw closer, I notice Rumple and the girls laughing about something. I grit my teeth and pause in front of them to lay down the tray. This isn't mine, it's my friend's. Yes, I was the one who ordered the soup. The 2 stare at me. Instead of handing the soup off, they wait for me to move the bowl. But before I can reach over and move it, Rumple slides it over to the other girl himself. For a few moments, there's a fragment of a scowl on his face. Bleh, 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 bleh. How are you doing today, my sweet princess? When I think about speaking, the words catch feebly in my throat. I turn to walk off. Princess? Still as cold as ice. The title Ice Princess definitely suits her. How can you dote on her, Rumple? Despite the numbness of my mind, I still feel angry. I turn around so quickly that I make myself stumble. I feel myself teetering on the edge of falling, but something stops me. Warm hands reach out to grab mine before I can fall. Through my dizziness, I can see Rumple standing in front of me. I am all tongue-tied today. Princess, look at me. He puts a hand under my chin and angles my head so I can see him better. The expression on his face is suddenly serious. He can tell that she is sick. He looks at me for a few moments before he places a hand on my forehead. Princess, you have a fever. A really high fever, actually. You should go back to your room and rest. I'll drop by with some medication in a few minutes after I say goodbye to these ladies. I am fine. My voice comes out hoarse. Trying to clear my throat only makes me feel more miserable. Princess, you're not fine. You look like you're about to collapse. I will not collapse. I am stronger than that. Mother taught me how to be strong. You just almost collapsed. If it wasn't for him, you would have collapsed. Go to bed. Go to bed. Mother. My thoughts become scrambled. Once again, my mind wanders, but this time I cannot keep myself steady as I try to walk away. Putting one foot in the front of the other proves to be too difficult, and I once again feel myself start to stumble. Then I feel warmth, this time arms instead of hands. Sweet little princess, what am I going to do with you? Ah! Before I can understand what is happening, I am lifted off of my feet. I feel an arm supporting my back and another supporting me beneath the crook of my knees. Warmth. Such nice warmth. You really are stubborn, aren't you, Princess Lilac? I guess I'll just have to carry you up myself. Struggle, lean against him. Ah! Struggle. I cannot just let him carry me up like this. I attempt to move away from him, but my whole body is weak. It is all I can do to try to roll out of his arms, but even that does not work. If you fall, you'll get a bump on your head, you know. I am not weak. I do not need anyone taking care of me. There are voices, and indistinct chattering behind him that belongs to other girls. Rumple speaks in a low voice. Stubborn she may be, but my sweet princess is stronger than any other woman I've ever known. He pulls me closer to him, and I feel his chest at my head, then his heartbeat. I know you're strong, princess, stronger than anyone else even. Because you are so strong, I know you'll never admit to needing help. That's why I'm going to help you without your permission. I'm sorry. He likes it when they deny him. Ugh. Slowly, I let myself settle in his arms. I lean my head into his chest and listen to his heartbeat. It is a gentle, sweet sound that makes me feel like drifting into slumber. So warm. But not as warm as you are right now, princess. Because of the fever. His voice slowly begins to fade out as I close my eyes. For the time being, I stop caring about everything else around me. I forget about Mother, about my talk with Delore and Parfait, about the crystal, about the Marchen, and I focus on Rumple. Is it so selfish to want to be the only person held like this by him, even when he was engaged to someone before? Slumber slowly reaches up to claim me, darkness intermingling with warmth. In that last moment, I think I see Rumple smile at me. Oh, that's cute! Mother, I have to tell you about the fairy tale that the children read to me today. Lilac, what did I tell you about fairy tales? But there was a princess just like me. She found her prince charming and... Fairy tales are not real. But they make really good stories, Mother. They are false stories. Do you really think it would be so easy to live happily ever after? No, but... Fairy tales make things black and white. Real life is full of grays. Black and white? Good and evil. No one is totally evil, and no one is totally good. Even princes are not completely just. So princes and princesses can be bad? Lilac, everyone has darkness to them. The princes that throw themselves into danger are not selfless. They seek wealth, fame, or power. You see, fairy tales are lies because no one is so selfless and so full of love. People are two-faced. Trust no one. Yes, Mother. No one will love you like I do. To find pure love like that is impossible. I slowly blink my eyes open. For a few moments, the room is blurry, and there is nothing but vivid colors before my eyes. My eyes feel heavy, my throat scratchy. I stifle a cough as I blink back tears, and then through my tears I notice a slight motion. Rumple? Rumple is slumped in a chair in front of my bed, his head lolled to the side, his eyes closed. He murmurs something in his sleep and then shifts. What's he doing here? I notice a notebook in his lap. And what is that journal? I slowly slid my hand out from underneath the covers and reached across the bed. Right as my fingers about to brush the cover, Rumple's hand suddenly falls onto mine. Looks like you're feeling better. He pulls his hand away, along with the book, before carefully setting my hand back down on the covers. At least you look better. How do you feel? Better. Rumple looks tired, but his smile is still there. Oh, I won't believe it until I see it. You just said I looked better. That's my own analysis, but you, my sweet princess, don't sound very convinced. My throat is a little sore, and I think if I stood up I would fall over. Why do you look so surprised? You would usually never admit to such a thing, would you? You're still most definitely sick. Rumple leans forward to put a hand on my forehead. His hand is so cool on my hot skin. Our eyes lock as he tests my temperature. After a few moments, he finally peels his eyes away from me and sits back in his chair. Your temperature is down, but you definitely need the rest, princess. You should go back to sleep. And what will you do? And what? Will you just sit there and watch me? The words come out curter than I mean them to, and for a few moments, Rumple looks surprised, then he laughs. Princess, I haven't just been staring at you. I've been writing my journal, too. You have such a scary look on your face. Now, not that it isn't enticing, but I think your smiles are much better. I sigh as I close my eyes for a few moments. I fight to put my scrambled thoughts together, but one thought in particular keeps resurfacing. For some reason, I cannot help but remember the snide women standing by Rumple's side, jeering at me earlier. I open my eyes and look at Rumple. Those women from earlier. Oh, right. I apologize for their impoliteness. The things they said to you were uncalled for, and I told them that. You flirt with women like that all the time, but why? They are not even good people. Not good people? But, well, I suppose they act differently when you're there. Princess Lilac, you're blind to their jealousy, aren't you? They are jealous of me? Why? My mind turns over what they could possibly be jealous about as my eyes fall on Rumple. I remember the way he defended me to the women. Is it because you're my partner? It's a lot more than that. It's your grace, the noble way you carry yourself. They would never think I have those qualities. But where else would their jealousy stem from? They're just jealous that I take your attention away from them. Princess, I think even if they were nice people, I do not see how you can flirt with them when you were just recently in love with someone else. Normally I would stop talking, but the words continue tumbling out of me. I don't understand how someone like you, who had a fiancé, could still be flirting with girls. How can you love someone if all you do is flirt with other girls? Flattery is one thing, but you cannot just flatter every girl. Why are you still smiling at me? I may not remember a lot of things, Princess, but I know for certain that whatever feelings I had for Bria vanished a long time ago. The good ones, at least. Rumple. The words break apart as I start coughing. Don't rile yourself up over this. Please, rest. I slowly lean back into my pillows with my eyes half closed. Why do I even care about what Rumple does? Why does it bother me that he flirts with other girls? Because you like him? That is his business. Rumple pulls the covers closer to my chin and smiles. Just because I flatter other women, that doesn't mean that I can't love someone. You always say some woman has stolen your heart, but your heart cannot belong to everyone. Yet you told me you always speak the truth. Maybe that in itself is a little white lie, just some harmless dramatics. But most girls know that I am being dramatic, Princess. They don't take my words so seriously, even if I do mean my compliments. He stares at me for a few moments, thoughtful. Does it bother you so much that I compliment other girls? Of course not. Yes, it does. Though it will be difficult to hold my tongue, I will do it for you, Princess, so don't worry. Why would he do something like that for me? 'Cause he likes you. My eyes are suddenly so heavy I have no choice but to close them as I let out a deep sigh. My head is beginning to hurt again. Behind my closed eyelids I can hear a soft shuffle as Rumple moves in his chair. Right before I fall back into the darkness of sleep, I feel something warm and soft on my forehead. Rumple? A good night kiss. His words are quiet, and I can only just barely make them out. I cannot think on them, because the pull of sleep is much too tempting. It takes a while, but after several days, Rumple finally allows me to go back to work. I cannot remember much of what happened when he was watching over me, especially that first day. It is all a little bit of a blur now, like it was all just a dream. Princess, back up on your feet? Yes, I'm fine now. Oh, what a relief. Last I saw you, you looked quite pale. When? I dropped in to check on you in your room, but Rumple was there. He told me that he had everything under control. Why did you need to check on me? Because I was worried, of course. Maybe you've been working too hard. No, I am fine. Just tell me what things need to be done. Are you sure you're okay? She's fine, Anise. Dolores suddenly appears before me, smirking. The princess is sturdy and a little too stubborn to let this little sickness get her down. I have not spoken with Dolores or Parfait since that night where they decided to tell me about my mother. Just thinking about what they told me, it puts me on edge. Ah, princess, why the sour expression? Allow me to calm you down with a little lullaby. Excuse me? Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder what you are. Anise, give me those work orders now. Up above the world so high. Anise! Oh, the tables on the west are yours, Princess Lilac. I quickly walk away from the bar and catch only the last little bit of Dolores singing. Oh, she was actually singing. Like a diamond in the sky. I'm not singing. She sang that the night I was cursed. Hearing her sing it again is infuriating. The song slowly fades from my head as I go about my work for the day. I am still a little shaky on my feet, but not so much that I need to go back to bed. As I'm walking around the bar, I catch snatches of conversation as I serve food. I hear the king has been mediating arguments between his two advisors. That Mithros man? He reminds me of a snake, always smiling at that slithery smile of his. That one and Alcaster. Apparently there has been no end to their squabbles. The king missed his monthly visit to the town yesterday, didn't he? I wonder if he's sick. There's been no word from the palace, but I suppose he must have come down with something. Nothing would keep the king from visiting otherwise. What is going on at the palace? Ah, you heard about the incident with the royal guard? Apparently lots of them have been getting dishonorably discharged. What? Found doing something to dishonor the king's name. Huh? Like what exactly? Not sure. That information is still under wraps. I am walking forward, not watching where I am going, when I collide with someone in my path. I feel a hand on my shoulder, and then another lifts at my chin. If it isn't the lovely princess, you're looking a lot peachier today. Because you're not as pale? Because the color's coming back into your skin? I am still thinking of the king and the situations in the palace, and barely hear Rumple's words. It isn't until he leans closer to me and narrows his eyes that I realize he is close. Ah, now Sleeping Beauty is truly awake, and here I was hoping I would have an excuse to plant a kiss on your lips, my sweet princess. Not a single reaction today. Not a slight blush, not a slap, not... Are you still sick? Must I perform another examination? Examination? Yes, by looking closely at your face, into your eyes. How are you a doctor, Rumple? Rumple stares at me with surprise. I'm not sure where the question came from, just that it was hovering in my mind. What? Princess, you wound me. I've not seen you do anything different from Anise. But my prescriptions. Even the people at the shops could tell us what medicines to buy. Fine, I'll show you. Rumple's expression slips into something shockingly solemn. He looks at me gravely and extends a hand. If you would be so kind as to come up to my room. Does going up to your room have anything to do with work? Dolores appears before me again, this time without the snide smile. She raises an eyebrow. I don't think either of your shifts are over. She looks at me first. Also, I meant for the lullaby to inspire you, not scare you, princess. For a few moments she looks concerned, which startles me. The lullaby is certainly associated with a terrible memory, but the weight of that memory has dissipated over time, as has my anger at Dolores. It is still there, but holding on to that anger does me no good. I sigh and shake my head. You have a terrible voice. Oh! Ah, there's the princess we all know and love. She crosses her arms. Anyway, you don't want me to sing you into action again, do you? Come to my room at later then, princess. I'll show you proof. Proof? That I am a capable doctor. Rumple walks off, leaving me with Dolores, who looks at me skeptically for a few moments. Something on your mind, princess? There were so many conversations I heard earlier, so many questions that I have. While I do not want to speak to Dolores, I may as well ask her about something she might know. I overheard rumors about the palace. Did you know? We still haven't confirmed those rumors yet. Look, princess, I know it's not in your nature to trust people, but trust Parfait and me at least. We'll let you know if something is up. I am ushered back to work, where I spend the next few hours searching for more information. Unfortunately, everything I hear is just speculation. Good work today, Lilac. Has Rumple already left? I think he went up to his room earlier. Thank you. Anise looks at me, curious. What? You and Rumple have grown a lot closer, haven't you? Well, we are partners. But in the beginning you didn't even want him as a partner. And now the two of you are... friends? Friends? If Rumple considers me a friend, that should make me happy, but for some reason it makes me feel empty inside. Why? What else could we be besides friends? My cheeks feel warm as I try to think beyond the idea of just being friends with Rumple. I'm happy that the two of you get along. Anise, I need to go. I told him I would meet him for something tonight. Oh, okay. Sorry for holding you up. Oh my gosh. Anise's face, though. Anise scrambles off, leaving me by myself. I stand there for a few moments in an attempt to still my thoughts, and then I begin to make my way to Rumple's room. Rumple? The door swings open, and there stands Rumple. With a dramatic bow, he ushers me inside, before closing the door behind him. I wasn't entirely certain you'd show up, Princess. Normally when you go places with me, it's out of necessity. I only came to see this proof you insisted upon earlier, proof that you are more than what you seem. He places a hand on my back and guides me over to a chair. He requests that I sit, and I do. Here it is, my proof. You tried to read it while you were sick, too. The journal! Your journal? I've seen him write in this before, but I thought it was for his memories, not for Dr. Things. He barely even works on patients now. Rumple's persistence stokes my curiosity, and soon I find myself flipping through the pages of the book. This was the journal you had when the Martian found you on the streets. You said it was empty then. It was. I have been filling things in from memory ever since I remembered my job. The book is filled with diagrams of the body, both inside and out. I have no idea what most of the words mean. What are all of the smaller words here? Oh, parts of the pancreas. Not very fun to talk about. There's the papilla, the pancreatic duct. Why is it necessary to use such big words for such simple things? For clarification, sometimes when you diagnose a problem, it isn't as simple as telling a person that their heart is weak. I continue flipping through it, with Rumple sometimes explaining things that are on the page, though I do not ask for the descriptions. Scattered throughout the journal are journal entries about his life. When I get to the last entry, I spot my name and begin to read, but before I can even get to the next word after my name, Rumple has taken the journal from my hands. Ah, sorry, my sweet, but a man's words are sometimes all he has. Insult them, and you break him from the inside out. He thinks I'm going to insult his writing? What did you think? Aren't you impressed with my sophistication, my breadth of knowledge, my intricacy? That proves nothing! Those could all be made-up words. You drew some pictures and wrote fancy words by them. Exactly. Princess. I cannot help the little laugh that escapes my lips. Immediately after I hear it, I feel myself blushing as Rumple grins at me triumphantly. Your laughs are sweeter than honey, Princess. And because your voice is back and you're no longer sick, I can hear it in all its fullness. He takes a step closer to me and reaches out to touch my cheek. I flinch in surprise, but do not draw away. The rapid beating of my heart is not altogether uncomfortable, even if it does confuse me. He pulls his hand away from my cheek, then flicks my forehead. What the fudge? What was that for? I wanted to see the way your eyes glimmered. You looked oddly vacant there for a few moments. I opened my eyes to speak again, but Rumple surprises me by setting his finger on my lips. He inches closer to me, so close that I can feel his breath on my cheeks. But even when you don't speak, your eyes speak for you. You have beautiful eyes, you know. Bah! Why are you like this? Why are you like this? I don't know what to choose. Look away. There he goes again with his compliments. I should be used to them by now, but lately, whenever he compliments me, I cannot stop myself from feeling flattered. When I look into his eyes, I can almost see my reflection in them. Without realizing, I look away from him, feeling my breath stop short before I can breathe out. Are you sick, Princess? You look a little flushed. Princess? He removes his finger. He does not, however, step back. I am still aware of his lips so close to mine, and his eyes, which are still looking right at me. I knew it. This feels different than your usual resistance. Could it be that you're embarrassed? She's flushed. He clears his throat, then starts speaking again. In any case, it's so nice to have you back, Princess. I missed you while you were sleeping day in and out. He missed me? But you have friends all over the Marsh End. Yes, but none of them are you. You're special. My heart plunges like a rock. I can feel it everywhere in my body, reverberating from a place that doesn't feel like my chest. He lowers his face so that the two of us are seeing eye to eye. I forget to breathe as his hands go to my shoulders. Princess? Yes? I inhale sharply as I get a better look at Rumple's face, but up until now, I have not stopped to look closely at his features. But now I cannot stop my eyes from taking them in. Whenever you're sick again, I'll be there to help you, because I am a doctor, even if you might not believe it. All you ever really need is a little vitamin me. Oh my gosh. Rumple, this is why I enjoy you so much. I enjoy you so much because of this. In one precious moment, every single bit of energy that had been between us vanishes. I stare blankly at Rumple as he smiles. I have not seen that before. Oh, that's cool. No? I thought that one was actually good, too. Rumple pulls his hands away, defeated. I suddenly feel strangely upset. What was I expecting from him? What else could he have said? Suddenly, I am eager to look away from him. I look anywhere but at him, and eventually my eyes fall on a piece of paper. I recognize the name printed on top, along with Rumple's signature and response lying next to it. Rumple moves to stand in front of the desk once more. Ah, that's... You are still writing to Bria? I sent her a letter asking for my old journals. I'm convinced that's where the last of my memories are, but she refuses to give them to me. I glance at Bria's letter, my eyes scouring the words. I make a mental note of the address on the envelope. But don't worry, Princess, I'll figure it out. For now, he reaches for me, but I duck out of the way of his hand. I have to do this now, while the address is still fresh in my mind. I just remember there's something I need to do. I knew it. But Princess, I'll see you tomorrow. I pause at the doorway and glance at Rumple. See you tomorrow, Princess. Sweet dreams. Good night, Rumple. It's time for a thief princess to go on a journey. Done. I seal the envelope over the letter I had been writing since I woke up. Oh, okay. I thought she was going to go steal. And now I have it delivered. After I have the letter sent off with the messenger, I return to my work for the day. It starts first with Mr. Broom, then with the survey. I look for Rumple, knowing that it is now his time off, and I am surprised when I see him sitting not with another woman, but with Karma. The two of them are laughing together? They are super similar. I guess that advice isn't too terrible. I give the best advice, darling. I'm a man of the heart. Perhaps not as much as I am, but I can give you credit when it's due. What are you two talking about? Princess! Well, hello there, Princess. Karma's mischievous smile confuses me. Even Rumple looks surprisingly shaken. You did not answer my question. We are talking about matters related to the heart. Of course you are. I took it upon myself to impart valuable advice to Rumple. You are giving Rumple advice, even though you two are always at each other's throats? Ha! Even the bitterest enemies can become beloved friends. All it takes is a shared interest. I have no idea what you two are talking about. Before I can say anything else, I am swept up by Delora, who calls me back to work. Rumple asked for advice from Karma, 'cause Karma is amazing. The day goes on, and soon it's almost my break. I go to the front to see if the messenger has returned yet. Oh, Princess, there's a letter here for you. I did not expect a response. I open it up and stare down at the letter for a long time. Writing love letters to a secret lover, Princess? Rumple appears behind me, his smile unusually small. He looks almost hesitant to be standing there. It is not important. I stuff the letter into my pocket and continue working. For the rest of the day, I ignore Rumple. I do not want him asking about this letter, just in case things do not go according to plan. He is obviously disheartened by my ignoring him, and his sadness only persists in making me feel guilty. This is not something he can know about, otherwise he will try to stop me. Almost everyone has gone to their rooms, including a very saddened Rumple. The only people remaining are Anise and myself. Earlier, Walt came in insisting that he speak to Delora and Parfait, and so the three of them are all off talking in another room. It's 'cause he found information! Curiosity gets the better of me, and I soon find myself sweeping closer to the door. I edge it open quietly with my foot so that I can see what is happening inside. Ah. I didn't think he was still alive. This is very troubling. He must have used a glamour. But the fact that I didn't realize it was him, Is that the princess I spot peeping through the door? I try to hide, but all of the eyes on the room catch me before I can do so. Do you eavesdrop on people often, Lilac? I had no real reason to eavesdrop on them besides my own curiosity. It's no harm done, Delora. Lilac, you are almost done with your chores? Ever since that conversation with Parfait and Delora, I have noticed that the words Parfait and I speak to each other are strained. Delora, however, is unchanged. I expect sarcasm from her now, but she does not deliver. She simply stands still and looks at me somberly. I am. And what are you talking about? Hiding more things from me? We're talking about the rumors that have been going around about the palace. What have you heard? I have a right to know what is happening at the palace. We would tell you if we knew for certain, Princess. Walt sighs as he runs a hand through his hair. I know the timing doesn't seem right, but I really should show myself out. I have a show early tomorrow morning. In the early morning tomorrow? I don't know. That sentence was weird. He glances around at all of us. I am going to excuse myself for the night. Good night, everyone. As he passes by me, he smiles. And to you too, Princess. Once again, everyone is being secretive. Why the sour-faced princess? Are you worried about what happens to the people in the palace you cared nothing for? Delora! Okay, that was uncalled for. But really, though, there is something I've been meaning to tell you. Since you're here now, I might as well say it. I knew you for 1 year before I cursed you. I saw what your mother had done to you, and I knew I needed to undo the damage before your birthday. Why is she talking about this now? I called you cruel and wicked, when really I knew that the way you were was caused by the way your mother brought you up. And when we talked about Hilda the other day, I was unfair in what I said to you. We all have to face reality, but Delora pauses, looking surprisingly solemn. She sighs, then continues. I always knew you had some good in you. I saw it in you when you spoke to your dolls. You have a good heart. Many people enjoy flattery, Princess, and a lot of people are receptive to flirting, but nothing can measure up to a genuine compliment. Delora just complimented me? Oh no! What? What? I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. Did Delora just compliment me? I feel surprisingly light. Rumple was right. A genuine compliment does make me feel good, but does she truly mean it? Still no thank you, huh? Well, we'll have to work on that. Delora. What? You always ruin the mood, don't you? Is it so wrong to get my hopes up when all I want is for the princess to thank me once? You did curse her. Not many fairy tale curse victims thank the casters. Touché. Oh, what's this? My lovely little princess in here with you too? Rumple, you're early tonight. Surprised to see me, beautiful? Rumple's earlier anxiety is gone. He looks at me with unbridled enthusiasm. If you're here to talk to Parfait about medicine, then I'm out. Lilac, you should leave too. Well then, sleep well, beautiful maidens. I quickly finish my chores and return to my room, where I lay on my bed contemplating tomorrow. I cannot believe Bria wrote back to me. Tomorrow I will meet with her, and hopefully she will agree to give me the journals. I hope this works, for Rumple's sake. Chapter 8. Cavalier? Chevalier? I don't know how to say that word, but we're at the half-hour mark. So we're going to go ahead and end this for today. I wonder if the bad ending is not getting the journals, and the good ending is getting the journals. We'll find out. And so yeah, I will see you all next time. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the thingy things. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, evening. Okay, bye!